America is at its worst right now. And I'm talking about these deadly shootings that are taking place so far. When will this ever end? When will these mass shootings actually stop? How many people in the United States are going to keep on dying from these mass shootings? And will anything ever be done about this? I'm being serious when I say this, because when you look at how many people die here, it's a very, very dangerous. It's really something dangerous here. So, how long are we going to keep on hearing in the future more of these mass shootings happening and taking place in America? And throughout later in the years, up until like 2030, how much more mass shootings could you possibly imagine happen during that time? Anyway, guys, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel, Charles Morris. And with that said, let's go ahead and kick off this video. So, a lot of people die in this deadly mass shooting. And lots and lots of deaths are happening because of these deadly shootings. Salvador Ramos has murdered 19 children and 2 teachers, and he was shot and killed by police. That is actually even much worse compared to the top supermarket shooting in Buffalo, New York. That 19 is a big number. Not only were 19 children dead from Salvador Ramos firing his gun, but he also killed at least 2 teachers. So you got 21 deaths in total at Robb Elementary School. That is, that's a pretty big number. Although there's other mass shootings that actually have had a lot more deaths than Robb Elementary. Yeah, so like take the Dayton, Ohio, for example. That was a tragic one there. And even we've had a shooting in El Paso, Texas. So, here's the thing that worries me the most. We've got mass murderers that are killing people here in America. And then we also have a serious COVID-19 virus that is also taking the lives of people because they just don't want to bother getting the vaccine. And they protest, my body, my choice, I can allow what I want inside of it, is their argument for not getting the vaccine. It's just like this Roe versus Wade overturn by the Supreme Court. You know, there's all these protests going around and that stuff, and you know, I can understand people want freedom in the United States. But at the same time, do you want to end your life early by, putting yourself at risk of either being targeted by mass murderers or refuse getting the vaccine? And then when you catch COVID-19 and test positive for it and you still don't have the vaccines, you enjoy feeling the symptoms and then dying afterward? I would not. I get the vaccines, and when I feel symptoms of COVID-19 and that stuff, I can endure it because I had the vaccine in me. So, yeah. And here is the big question I want to ask in this video. How many more mass shootings do we have to go through until we actually get the security and have this country feel more safe to the people who live here? Okay, because the question that I had, or the question that I have mostly, is the United States even a safe country anymore? Because so far, most of the time on the news, you hear about a lot of shootings that happen here in the United States. And you're also not keeping yourself safe by refusing to get the vaccines and protecting you from this deadly virus. So, there's been a recent mass shooting in Philadelphia. What more will we hear about? What more shootings will we actually hear about? And is the U.S. Senate going to do anything about, security and that stuff? Certainly, I would not expect Rand Paul to be, Rand Paul would probably, ask questions about, do guns actually even kill? I mean, it's so stupid, man. But, there are politicians that are just idiots when it comes to mass murderers and that stuff. And this is just good to be discussing because it's almost like nobody is even safe to travel anymore. Now, I mean, we have this deadly COVID-19 virus that has been killing people way before we had the vaccines in 2020. And we just came out with the vaccines in 2021. And the numbers of death were pretty huge before we had these vaccines. In 2020, it was absolutely like one of the worst years. We've had to go on national lockdowns because people had been tested positive for COVID. There was no vaccines around, and you pretty much had to avoid large crowds back then. And it was like one of the worst years. And traveling wasn't even safe. Now, with all these mass murderers out there and that stuff, it actually makes travel a bit more unsafe now. Because you also have people that want to just set random town citizens or, people that are visiting and, put them on their list of targets to actually kill. And it's just so sick. So, the big thing is here, how many times are we going to keep on hearing about these mass murders and these shootings? It could happen anywhere. Anywhere. Not just in elementary schools, and not just top supermarkets, but it could also happen anywhere. Take the word from Dr. Phil. Shootings can take place anywhere. Anywhere. It could be churches, it could be schools, it could be at gyms, it could be in public places like museums, state parks, whatever. Now, maybe state parks might be a little bit more harder because you have all of this space, but somebody could, hide right behind bushes with sniper guns and actually try to, I shouldn't say sniper gun, but, snipe, long-range rifles and actually try to shoot you and hide behind bushes and try to kill you from very far away. And, and the people, the family that is victim of the shooter would be in, shock on how you actually died. And they wonder why, how could this have happened? I didn't see anything. Oh. Yeah, I got some news for you. Mass murderers can actually be pretty sneaky when it comes to trying to kill people with a bullet. And it could be in state parks. And it could happen from far away when you don't even expect it. And that's the point I want to make on that one about state parks, mass shooters killing you from far away. And like I said, mass shootings could take place in churches. It could take place in gyms. It could take place in anywhere. Public buildings, you name it, and even state parks. So, be on the lookout for these things. And the more we hear about this, the more it's going to be on the news. And the worst thing is it happening in elementary schools, because when the mother and the father have to, have to suffer from having their child murdered by a mass murderer, they just, well, obviously, they want justice for the person that caused the shooting very, very badly. But they can't help grief over their son or their daughter being shot. And this is what really is the sad part here for families. So, yeah, this is an important video that I made because I absolutely wanted to get that warning out there, because this could happen who knows when. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what's said here, please comment, like, and subscribe to the channel, Charles Morse. And until my next video, mass murders can happen anywhere. Have a good day.